Are you currently saving for retirement or just getting started? Well, you've probably heard of the Roth IRA or the traditional IRA as an option, but what's the difference between the two? In today's video, I'm going to break it down in plain English. The traditional IRA has been around since 1974, but the Roth IRA is relatively new. It was introduced in 1997 as part of the Taxpayer Relief Act. IRA stands for Individual Retirement Account, but the word individual in the IRA is very important because an IRA is an account that you open and fund on your own. It's not through your employer. Plus, the IRA has very special tax advantages. Both the Roth IRA and the traditional IRA are retirement savings accounts with unique tax advantages, but they work differently when it comes to when you pay your taxes. In a traditional IRA, contributions are tax deductible in the year you make them, and it reduces your taxable income. And then withdrawals are taxable and are treated as ordinary income when you take it out. Basically, you get a tax deduction now, but have to pay tax on it later when you withdraw the money. The Roth IRA, on the other hand, is made with after-tax contributions, basically money that you have in your savings account or your checking account. You make the contribution, you don't get a tax deduction, but that money grows tax-free. When you take that money out, it's completely tax-free. Also, you can take out whatever you've put into the Roth IRA at any time without tax or penalty. So basically, you don't get a tax deduction now for the contribution that you've made, but the money grows tax-free. So let's go through a few simple examples. Let's assume you make an $8,000 contribution to a traditional IRA, and then you deduct that $8,000 on your tax return in the year that you make that contribution. That means you got a tax benefit that year for that $8,000 contribution. Now let's assume you don't make any further contributions and that $8,000 is invested and it grows to $30,000 at retirement. When you start taking the money out at retirement, that traditional IRA will be taxed as ordinary income, and the entire amount will be taxed as ordinary income. The entire $30,000 will be taxed as ordinary income. That means it's like regular salary income you have to pay tax on. The idea here is that you're utilizing a tax deduction when you're in a high tax bracket during your working years, and then withdrawing money in your retirement when you're in a lower tax bracket. This is how the traditional IRA works. Now, continuing with the same example, let's assume in this case you put the $8,000 into a Roth IRA, but you did not deduct the contribution because you can't in a Roth IRA. So you receive no tax benefit in the year of your contribution. But the $8,000 grew again to $30,000. So you invested the $8,000, it grew to $30,000. You made no other contributions to that Roth IRA. But now that entire $30,000 is available to you completely tax-free. Plus, during that time when it's growing, you can take out your $8,000 without tax or penalty anytime you want. This is basically how the Roth IRA works. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, please remember to like, subscribe, and share our channel. And if there's a topic that you want me to cover in a future video, be sure to include it in the comment section below. I promise I read every single comment. Now that we have a general idea of what the traditional IRA and the Roth IRA are, let's talk about some of the similarities, because the traditional IRA and the Roth IRA do have some similarities between the two. First is you must have earned income to make a contribution, and your contribution cannot exceed your earned income. This applies to both the traditional IRA and the Roth IRA. Both the traditional IRA and the Roth IRA have income eligibility limits. If your income is above a given amount, you can't deduct a contribution to a traditional IRA, or you can't make a contribution to a Roth IRA. I'm going to put the current income limits in the video description below. But here are a couple of quick pro tips. Number one, regardless of how much your income is, you can always make a non-deductible contribution to an IRA. You won't get that deduction, and the money can grow tax deferred. It'll be taxed later on, just like a traditional IRA. It's just that you're not getting a deduction on that initial contribution. That's if your income is really high and you can't contribute to a traditional IRA. The other pro tip is that if your income is too high and you don't qualify for the Roth IRA, you can do a strategy called a Backdoor Roth IRA. This essentially gives you access to the Roth IRA even if your income is too high. Now, it's a little more complex, and I'll have a separate video where I go through the mechanics of the Roth IRA, but the Backdoor Roth IRA. But the Backdoor Roth IRA is a strategy that I use for all of my clients because essentially they all make too much money to contribute directly to the Roth IRA. Another similarity between the Roth IRA and the traditional IRA is that they both have the same annual contribution limit. Now, the annual contribution limit changes every year, and I will include the current annual contribution limit in the video section in the video description below. Another similarity is that the due dates for the annual contributions are the same for both the traditional IRA and the Roth IRA. Also, they both have catch-up contributions for people who are age 50 or older. Both the regular IRA, the traditional IRA, and the Roth IRA have some exceptions to early withdrawals, such as the first-time home purchases, qualified education expenses, and some other exceptions that allow you to take money out without having to pay the 10% penalty. And lastly, the last similarity between the Roth IRA and the traditional IRA is that if you miss a contribution in a given year, you can't go back and backfill it for a prior year. So make sure you make your annual contributions every year, because once you miss it, you can't go back and fill it again. Okay, now that we know how the Roth IRA and the traditional IRA are similar, now let's go over what makes them different. The first differentiating factor is withdrawals. With a traditional IRA, you cannot withdraw your money without tax or penalties before the age 59 and a half. There are some exceptions, but in general, the traditional IRA has pretty restrictive withdrawals or penalties on withdrawals. On the other hand, with a Roth IRA, you can pull out the money that you have contributed, your own dollars, anytime you want, tax-free and penalty-free. This is a huge benefit and a huge difference between the traditional IRA and the Roth IRA. That also means that you're not locked in until age 59 and a half like the traditional IRA. Another differentiating factor with the withdrawals in the Roth IRA and the traditional IRA is the 5-year rule. After the 5 years, and with some nuances, you can withdraw your contributions and the growth in your Roth IRA tax-free. Now, penalties will still apply if you're under the age of 59 and a half, but the withdrawals are completely tax-free. So let's go back to the previous example. You put $8,000 into a Roth IRA, and then you don't put any more contributions in, and that $8,000 has grown over a 6-year period to $15,000, okay? So it's been open for six years, you put $8,000 in, it's worth $15,000 now. You can withdraw the entire $15,000 tax-free, but, and this is a huge but, once you take that money out, you cannot put it back in. You're still subject to the annual contribution rules. So if you take out that $15,000, again, it will be tax-free, and you want to put it back in again, you can't do that. Now you're subject to that annual contribution limit every year on that Roth IRA. Another differentiating factor between the Roth IRA and the traditional IRA is that the traditional IRA has what is known as an RMD, or required minimum distribution. Since you receive a tax deduction for the contribution on the traditional IRA and the money grows tax deferred, these funds have never been taxed. The RMD is the IRS's way of saying, hey, you've had your tax break long enough, now it's time for us to collect our taxes. So starting at a certain age, you have to take required minimum distributions and withdraw a certain amount every year. And you have to pay tax on those withdrawals. So the IRS forces you to start taking money out even if you don't need that money. Now, if you skip or forget to take an RMD, the IRS can hit you with this hefty penalty, 25% of the amount that you should have withdrawn. Now, under the Secure Act 2.0, that reduced the penalty to 10% if the error is corrected promptly, though. On the other hand, Roth IRAs are not subject to RMDs during your entire lifetime. That means that you control when and if you withdraw your money. Your account can continue to grow tax-free as long as you live. Avoiding RMDs can also help you with your taxable income to lower it during retirement, which is really helpful to reduce your Medicare premiums and avoiding additional taxes on your Social Security benefits. The Roth IRA is also a powerful tool for tax-efficient estate planning because you can leave the account to your heirs without being forced to drain it during your retirement. Now, whoever receives your money, your beneficiary of the Roth IRA, they have to take it out within a 10-year period, but they too will not have to pay tax on that Roth IRA. Here are some general rules of thumb when deciding which account to fund and when. If you're currently in the high income tax bracket and you expect to be in a lower income tax bracket in retirement, a traditional IRA is a better option for you. But if you expect to be in a higher income tax bracket later on during retirement, or you just like the idea of tax-free withdrawals, then the Roth IRA is a better option for you. I know it's super tempting to put all of your money into the Roth IRA because, after all, who wouldn't want tax-free money? But I'm a big believer of having money in multiple different types of tax buckets. In fact, I've done 2 other videos which I recommend you watch. One is why you should not put all of your money into a Roth IRA, and the other is different tax buckets, because everything you own falls under one of 3 different tax buckets. It's either taxable, tax deferred, or tax free. And as a general rule of thumb, you should have money in all three tax buckets. Now let's go over some frequently asked questions. The first question is, if I have a traditional IRA, can I convert it to a Roth IRA? And the answer is yes, you can. It's called a Roth conversion. You'll owe income tax on the amount you convert because the traditional IRA funds have never been taxed. The benefit is that once it's in the Roth, the future growth and qualified withdrawals are tax-free. The next question is, can I contribute to a Roth IRA and a traditional IRA in the same year? The answer is yes, but the total combined contribution cannot exceed the annual limit. For example, if the annual maximum is $8,000, the total you can contribute to all IRAs in that year is $8,000. So if you wanted to put $4,000 in the Roth IRA, $4,000 in the traditional IRA, you can do that. Or if you want to put $7,000 in the Roth IRA, $1,000 in the traditional IRA, you can do that. But what you can't do is put $8,000 in both a traditional IRA and a Roth IRA, because you've essentially exceeded the maximum of $8,000 for that year. Another common question is, what happens if I take money out of my traditional IRA before age 59 and a half? You generally will owe income tax and a 10% penalty for early withdrawal on that entire amount that you withdrawn. However, there are some exceptions where the penalty is waived, such as for certain qualified education expenses, first-time home purchases up to a certain amount, or unreimbursed medical expenses that meet the IRS rules. Another question is, what is the difference between a traditional IRA and a non-deductible IRA? And this is a really good question because it confuses a lot of people. A non-deductible IRA is essentially a traditional IRA where you don't get the upfront tax deduction for the contributions because your income is either too high or you have a workplace 401k plan that makes you ineligible for the traditional IRA. The money still grows tax deferred, but when you withdraw the money, you only pay income tax on the earnings, not that original contribution, since you already paid tax on it. You never got a tax deduction for that money. The next question is, what if my income is too high and I'm not allowed to contribute to the traditional IRA or the Roth IRA? Do I have any options? The answer is yes, you can contribute to a non-deductible IRA, and you have the choice of converting that non-deductible IRA to a Roth IRA, known as a Backdoor Roth IRA, or you can let that non-deductible IRA contribution grow tax deferred. Now, the Backdoor Roth IRA is a more advanced strategy that I'll do a separate video on, but the general idea is if your income is too high, you still have options on being able to contribute to an IRA. It's just you have to take a few more steps to be able to do it. The next question is, what is the difference between a traditional IRA and a rollover IRA? A rollover IRA is basically a traditional IRA that's funded with money that's rolled over from an old 401k plan with your old employer. Functionally, it is the same thing as a traditional IRA. It has the same tax treatment and the same RMD rules. So whether you choose a traditional IRA, a Roth IRA, or a combination of the two, the key is to start early and to stay consistent. The sooner you get your money working for you, the more time you have for it to grow. I hope you found this video helpful in clearly understanding the difference between the traditional IRA and the Roth IRA. Personally, I'm a big advocate of using both whenever possible because it's a great way to give yourself flexibility and better tax management during retirement.